Hey everybody, Dom Nicastro, CMSWire Managing Editor, here with our new contributor from Slack, a senior product specialist. Her name is Ruth Baril. Ruth, what's going on?
Hi, Dom. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, and I'm glad you joined the team here of contributing authors. Our community is a group of great practitioners who are doing the work of customer experience, marketing, kind of everything in between. And I know you're super focused on customer feedback, voice of the customer, and those are definitely things that are resonating with our readers and get a lot of engagement on the site. So super happy to have you. Let's start. We're going to talk about your first article and the kind of the contents of it, voice of the customer. But let's start with a little bit about you. You know, how'd you land at Slack, and kind of give us a little bit of insights into your background.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Slack, believe it or not, is my first full-time role in tech, as at all. I
Nice.
started here 7.5 years ago, in a support role when I was making a midlife career change. Prior to
Mm.
that, I was a childbirth and early parenting educator at a hospital outside of Seattle, and I decided I wanted to do something different. Most of my friends are in tech. Everybody was using this hot new tool called Slack that I thought was great and fun and exciting, and I really wanted to be a part of it. And I am so lucky that I was given that opportunity, and here I am.
Yep. Same. We thought the tool was great too. That's why we use it over at CMSWire, and it's nice. But like I told you before, I did shut it off so we can do this interview because we have to focus. We have to focus.
Yes, me too. I'm fully focused on this.
Awesome. So, customer feedback, voice of the customer. In the article, you talk about a combination of data and empathy when presenting customer feedback. Can you think of a time when empathy, in particular, played a major role in how you kind of
Mhm.
approach presenting feedback to the leadership team?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our top issues at Slack that we get the most feedback about are our notifications, which is a huge area because it includes like badges and push notifications, desktop notifications. There's a whole bunch, whether your channel bolds or not, all of that is part of notifications. And we were doing a lot of downstream troubleshooting and going to the product team and asking for all sorts of different improvements. And what we did was we took a step back, kind of collectively as a product specialist team and the engineering team, and looked at, well, what do the contents of these support tickets really look like? And we noticed that a large majority of them were solved with one reply, and that we realized that we could offer the customers an opportunity to self-serve. And the way we approached this was by asking the product team to prioritize work on our mobile diagnostics tool. So we have, if you use Slack on mobile, you know that you can test your Slack notifications, and we've had that option for a long time. But that process wasn't super informative prior to this project. So we approached the leadership team with this idea that if we could improve the diagnostics report and make it easier for customers to self-serve, that would be obviously better for the customers, right? It's always better to not have to write into support. That's
Yeah.
the ideal. Better for our support team, who could then spend more time dealing with like really gnarly, difficult issues and less time just sending one individual reply, because all of our support tickets are handwritten by human beings. We don't use automations. And the big part here for product and for leadership was uh, we would be able to adjust our feedback for them to focus more on how to improve the feature as opposed to stopping the bleeding of just a poor notifications experience in general. Like, we would rather be working on making notifications work better and be more granular and help people focus and help people be productive, not on just stopping the flow of all of these support tickets and these frustrated, confused customers.
Yeah.
So we got that prioritized. finished the project. It was a fully cross-functional effort. Our support team helped contribute, and we managed to drop the overall rate of mobile support notifications tickets by 74%, and have been able to focus more. It was just a big win for everyone all around.
Yeah, like it's such a massive data set, right? Like to have, it's a good problem to have. You're like, all right, we have a lot of data. We know we can make sense of this. Would you say like making sense of all that data is a technological challenge, or is it like a people and processes challenge? What's the biggest challenge in collecting all that data? Is it having the right tools, or more like getting people on board kind of thing?
Um, That's hard. I think it's really mostly a people issue, because you can have all the right tools and you can have all the numbers and they're exactly correct, and you compare it against other numbers, but until you understand what a customer needs and why they're using a tool. So as I mentioned, notifications for us means so many different things.
Yeah.
So we can look at all those different numbers, but until we hear from customers, the badging is important. Like, so those little number badges that tell you how many notifications you have, that's important to me because X, or it could be better because X. Like understanding those, the why and how they use it is really just as important, if not more important, than actually having the right tools and getting the right metrics.
Yeah, yeah. So like taking a data set, like, okay, 65%, of these folks don't like, the fact that they hear a noise every 5 minutes or something like that. It's really collecting all that data and saying, all right, what's the real customer problem? Let's walk in their shoes, right?
Right,
Let's
exactly.
walk in their shoes and see if we can troubleshoot it ourselves. Let's go through it ourselves. Can we do it? Well, no, we can't. Well, maybe they can't either, right? Kind of like walking, having that empathy. That's cool. And then how do you just ensure all your team members like understand and they effectively integrate customer feedback into their work, kind of like ingrain it into that culture?
Yeah, so I mean, this actually calls back to what we were just talking about, and which is focusing on the user story. And so not just explaining this is what our customers tell us they want, or this is where we're seeing the most errors, but helping the product teams understand why our customers want a specific thing. Some people will see requests for 4 or 5 different improvements or changes to Slack that all actually have the same source, they're all answering the same problem. So if you go to the team with all these different solutions and use and numbers, but no explanation, like no user story, this is what they're doing and this is why they're trying to do it that way, you're gonna get a real patchwork quilt of solutions that don't necessarily work with each other. And sometimes we've all used software where one part of the software makes a different part of it actually harder because they're not talking to each other and they're not thinking about the holistic experience of using that software. So yeah, keeping everybody focused. And then always, I know I've been focusing a lot on the quantitative part of this and the why and the how, but always come with receipts. It can't, like, we don't product teams at large companies that serve millions of people a day to make changes based on vibes. Like you gotta go, you need to show your work is what I always say. So it's that balance of quantitative and qualitative to help keep everyone together. And I just have to emphasize how important that cross-team collaboration is. So understanding what the other teams are working on so that you don't accidentally, inadvertently, or subconsciously make another part of the experience worse by making your part better.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you feel like customer experience teams get lost in, or customer support teams more specifically get lost in ticket resolution. And if your ticket resolution is, oh, we solved 95% of issues within a day. And that's like a good metric. Wow, we're doing a good job. Pat yourself in the back. But did you actually go to the granular data and say, what is the problem that's happening and how to avoid these constant issues coming up over and over again, like that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
thinking upstream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Cool. Well, finally looking at just, how you tie in customer feedback, back to the overall vision. So of the business. So how does Slack and your teams kind of think about that when you're talking about integrating all this customer feedback into the overall vision and strategy of the entire business?
well, I mean, we're kind of lucky in that what Slack's mission is, what Slack exists for, is helping people get their work done, right? And we want to do that in a way that is pleasant and effective, and makes people want to come back and use the tool and feel comfortable, like they're being their best selves at work using this tool. And so it's a very virtuous cycle for us. If people don't find Slack helpful in getting their work done, they will stop using it. And like, from a very businessy perspective, we will just start losing money. So it is not difficult, honestly, for us to help product teams or see why it's important that our users and the admins, like administering each of the Slack instances, why their actual hands-on experience is one of the most important parts of making product decisions. The hard part for us is how to choose what to do next, and how those all fit in with each other. And like I was talking about before. So long as our leadership does a great job of sharing our mission and our vision for the upcoming 3 years. We do that every 3 years, and we set goals within Slack and within Salesforce. And we just can start, kind of high level, like, how does this fit in with the goals that you have told us we have? And that umbrella always includes our customers' experience. And so again, I feel lucky because I know not every company, it's as easy to connect those dots and participate in that virtuous cycle. But I feel pretty good. I mean, I've been here a long time, and we've been working on that the whole time.
Yeah. Well, before I let you go, one final question. It's going to be a real hardball question. It's going
All
to
right.
throw you for a loop. But what's your favorite channel in Slack in your day to
Oh, my
day?
favorite channel. I think we have a dogs channel and a cats channel.
There you
The
go.
dogs it's kind of like, if I don't want to pick up my phone and look at Instagram reels of cute dogs and cats, I can just go in there at work and get a little serotonin boost from all the cute
Yes.
pictures and videos.
Yeah, I'd have to say ours is similar to that, but it's called random.
Yeah,
The dogs are in there, the cats, the travel,
I love it.
a random thought like, oh, I saw a good movie this weekend. Did anyone see it? Or just any kind of random thought. I mean, it's just, we're all over the place in that. It's just fun to just, I guess that's not, I hate the water cooler scenario, like comparison. Like, that's like the water cooler talk. Who talks at a water cooler? I don't even know why people say that. I take my water and I go away. I don't talk to
Yeah.
anybody. But it's like I don't know, maybe outside, just chilling outside the office building, kind of random. That's the random channel equivalent, I think, for us.
Yeah.
But cool. Well, Ruth, we're looking forward to having you as a CMSWire contributor. Congrats on your debut article. And if you get any
Thank you.
inspiration in the land of customer feedback, voice of the customer, come back to us.
All right, will do. Thank you so much, Tom.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye now.